All right. Looks like we're live. Just trying to make sure it's all good. Oh, yeah. All right. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? How'd everyone do last night, if you played? We got a lot of weird line combinations right now. So many weird line combinations. We had a lot of people predict goals last night, too. We had quite a few goal predictions correct. But no hat tricks yesterday, from what I know. What's up, Duncan? What's up, Ethan? What's going on, guys? What's up, Alex? How are you guys all doing today? What's up? Not much, man. Not much. Getting ready for week 7 waiver wire video. I'm going to post that tonight, hopefully. And then prepping on another good one for next week I'm excited about. So, been doing that most of the morning today. Setting up our doc as usual. Same old, same old. Had a good night in Draftkings. I was close to binking last night. Close to the top. I'm getting closer and closer every night. So, it's going to come. But I had some pretty solid lineups that were competing. But that McKinnon news last night was crazy. Like right before lock, it was like, I think the game was at 9. I think 8:40. It got announced McKinnon was out. I had so much of him in my lineups. I had like 25% McKinnon last night, and I had to like panic change all my lineups. We saw Kadri got moved to the top line, so I global swapped, and it was a mess. But I think it was crazy because McKinnon got like 15% ownership in the minimax, and he so like 1,200 lineups had him in with just a 0. Also, Fleury didn't start last night either. It was Oscar Dansk, which was another like high owned goaltender that didn't play, cost a bunch of people some zeros. Man, I was thinking about it last night. Like, with MLB, if I can remember correctly, they usually release lineups about 3 hours before the game. Like, NHL's crazy. Like, these coaches hold off to like 10 minutes before the game to announce a player's out. Like, I feel like they know at 11 a.m. if McKinnon's playing or not. Am I crazy, or I don't know. Won my parlay last night. Only thing that could have made it better was if the Sharks got the dub, but close. Yeah, I watched that game. It was pretty good. Man, that Vegas team is scary. But Erik Karlsson looked pretty good yesterday. I know a lot of people have asked me, like, should I drop him? Should I pick him up? Like, I still think Erik Karlsson's like an own. He's only 30 years old, but his plus minus is going to be like just in the dumps. Yo, quick Q. Got Josh Anderson back today. Should I drop Batherson? Anyone else, Duncan? I saw Anderson's third line tonight. Oh, sorry, it's up here. Anderson's third line tonight, looks like. But these lines are super evened out now. I mean, yeah, you have to play Anderson. Who else would you be able to drop, Duncan? I think Batherson, he's like in between a pickup and a drop. Happy Saturday. Yes, for sure. What's up, Jeff? What's going on? We'll let some more people tune in here before I get started, but another solo one today. Chris was at the hospital visiting his grandma today, so I get it. Blackwood already killing me. What's the score? Yo, guys, why isn't the Pittsburgh game started? Or is my app just wrong? Oh, okay, so my app is wrong. Oh, okay. Hopefully you guys picked up Jacob Bryson today. Good afternoon. What's going on? Wanted to drop Zaka, but slept in this morning. Yeah. Yeah, even if he's on the third line, Duncan, like, I mean, he's still going to see a lot of minutes. Montreal, like, loves to, like, they split their time up a lot. Like, their first line only plays, like, 15 minutes. Good afternoon, Jeff. Hey, you see Tom Wilson hit? How many? Man, yeah, so I'm just seeing some people on Twitter talking about how like he connected with the shoulder first and then ended up hitting the head. But I think my take on it, coming from just like a hockey standpoint, is that he was in a vulnerable position. Like Carlo had no way of defending himself there. He was just like left wide open on the boards, and Wilson came in full speed, all 230 pounds of him, and connected pretty hard to his head. So I mean, it definitely doesn't help that Carlo's hurt right now, and he's in. I read that he was in the hospital, so that does not help Wilson's case. Wilson's a repeat offender, so in terms of suspension, I'm gonna say like 5 to 7 games probably. Man, this is like the 5th or 6th incident for Wilson, and the NHL has really emphasized how repeat offenders are gonna get the ban hammer a little bit more. So it sucks, but I mean, he needs to kind of wake up. But he fought Trent Frederick and Tenorti, I think, yesterday as well. Do you guys see Chara grab Marchand? Man, it must be so awkward. Couldn't imagine. What's up, Nick? You think Georgiev, Rene, and Mrazek will get the most volume moving forward? Well, we don't know anything about Mrazek right now, but when Mrazek's back, assuming it's going to be him, he's probably my favorite out of the 3. But exactly what Dalton said. Like, if we don't know how long Shesterkin's out for, but if it's growing, like growing's pretty bad. Like that's minimum 2 weeks. So Georgiev's gonna get all the starts. Oh no, the first Zibanejad question, guys. I don't know. I'm holding him. I can't drop a player I drafted in the 2nd round, and I have his jersey on my wall to my left. Ben Bishop. You think they'll play him over Hudobin, Ottinger? Yeah, they have to. They absolutely have to. Bishop's like their number 1. All right, I'm going to get started here, guys. Just a couple notes before I get rolling. There's a lot of lineup changes tonight. So bear with me here, guys. Like I'm kind of just going off of what I saw in Daily Faceoff. But like, for example, the Edmonton, like they have their old lines on Daily Faceoff, but last game they didn't skate with their old lines. So I don't know how I'm going to play this. I'm just going to go off what Daily Faceoff has. That's like usually the best resource we use. If you guys know of any changes to these lines, like feel free to just let me know in chat here, guys. But bear with me if there's any mistakes. We kind of set the doc up the night before, and there's some changes in the mornings. But Wild, Arizona, pretty boring game. I was trying to look at like if it was high event, low event. It seemed like there was just not too much that happened. 5-1 win for Minnesota. Arizona didn't really look good in the first 2 periods. Like they barely touched the puck. I watched that game. So for the lines here in Minnesota, they're kind of flip-flopped. I think this Greenway, Eck, Foligno line is the 3rd line, but they match against opposing team top lines when they're at home. So it looks like this Greenway, Eck, Foligno was going against Kessel, Larson, Brassard. Pretty favorable matchup for them. This Kessel-Brassard combo is just terrible 5-on-5. So I don't mind this Minnesota 1 line. They are a little bit expensive. Like Eriksson Ek up at 5K, playing on the 3rd line. It's kind of iffy for me, but I think they're a little bit of a contrarian option, and they help you pay up for other lines. And we'll get to the 2 expensive lines tonight, but I think they give you a lot of flexibility. They're a good price. You have 3 guys on the power play, X on power play 1, and then Greenway, Foligno power play 2. Arizona takes so many penalties, like 3.4 per game. Like they're up there, like top 10 in the league. Minnesota is also pretty bad. This Minnesota 2 line actually struggled a little bit last game. Like you guys saw them put points on the board, and I get it, but they struggled a little bit last game, 5-on-5. They kind of had a hard time against this Arizona top line, who is their best defensive line with Garland, Schmaltz there. So I'm kind of off Minnesota too, like not full fade, but if I'm doing cash tonight, I'm probably not going to them. But man, this Minnesota 3 line is so intriguing to me. You got Kevin Fiala there under 6K. You guys know I love Fiala. He's just a guy that has like one of the highest shot volumes in the league. And at 5,600, I think you're fine. Like his floor is like 4 or 5 shots a game. So he has a really high floor, and he's a guy that can pop off for 2 or 3 goals easy. And I think Parise is another guy that's super undervalued that has a really high shot volume. Like if I'm making a cash lineup, Parise might be one of the first players I slot in there just because of how good he's been in terms of shooting the puck in his minutes. So Minnesota 3, interesting play for me tonight. On the defensive side, just not much I like from this Minnesota D-core. I think Dumba is my favorite defenseman, although he is power play too. He gets the minutes, he gets blocks, he shoots, and he does have goal upside. So Dumba's really where I'm going to go on the defensive side here. Cam Talbot starting tonight, 8K. Arizona just doesn't shoot the puck enough for me to pay up for a goalie at 8K. He will probably be in line for the win tonight. I'm assuming they're a favorite. But it's just hard for me to pay 8K for a goalie that's going to see 20, 25 shots. Or I'd much rather see a goalie get 30, 35. On this Arizona side, there's really not much I like at all. Minnesota just does a really good job limiting chances, limiting shots, limiting zone entries. Like, they're such a defensive sound team. And that was like one of my biggest takeaways this year, like going into this season when I was kind of analyzing teams. Like, Minnesota was first in the league for almost every defensive stat last season. Like, least high danger chances, least scoring chances, least shots against. Like, it's crazy. So not much I like here from this Arizona side. I think Goligoski is a fine, cheap defenseman to take. Someone that has high shot and block volume, and then can get in the score sheet too sometimes. Looks like Darcy Kemper is back tonight. I'm not sure if anyone can confirm that for me, but if Kemper's back tonight, 7,400. Minnesota likes to shoot the puck, so I'm going to get to some Kemper. Think it's a very favorable price, but I typically like to correlate my goalies with my teams, and I saw someone in our Discord talking about I wish there was no goalies in Draftkings because it would just save me so much money. But the way I play it is I just correlate. I just go off the assumption that if, like, say I'm taking Minnesota 3, I need them to score 2 or 3 goals to win. And if they're scoring 2 or 3 goals, it's likely Talbot's going to get the win as well. So that's how I play my goaltenders, guys. But I think Kemper's in a good spot to see some volume tonight at a pretty affordable price. Winnipeg, Montreal, one of the 2 Canadian matchups tonight. Actually, 3 Canadian matchups tonight. Calgary and Edmonton too. So a couple good games. Seems like every night these teams are playing Montreal and Winnipeg. Pretty interesting matchups here. So it looks like this Tatar, Danault, Gallagher, the Montreal shutdown line was basically splitting time between Winnipeg 1 and 2. I'm not sure if I like that. Like, I think it's better for a coach to just hard match, but this line is really good 5-on-5 to Tatar, Danault, Gallagher. They've been phenomenal 5-on-5 dating back to last season, but man, they've been bad this year. So pretty sure they have back-to-back. Did Kemper start last night, Jeff? Sorry, I think it was Ranta. No, or am I crazy? I go look at my app and there's just a bunch of goals scored. Yeah, it was Renta. Yeah, I'm assuming it's Kemper tonight. Anyways, sorry. So this Montreal 1 line, they just get it done 5-on-5. Wheeler, Scheifele combos are terrible defensively, but Stastny is actually one of their best defensive forwards, aside from Andrew Kopp. So not sure how I want to play this tonight. I think I'm going to have a little bit of Montreal, but if I'm doing cash, I don't think I'm going to get to this game too much. So we see Josh Anderson back, and this is one of the line changes I wanted to note. So it looks like Armia is projected on the second line tonight, and then Anderson drops to the third line with Toffoli and Kotkaniemi. So their lines are a little mixed up. I don't mind Montreal 2 tonight. All power play 1 correlated. Winnipeg has a pretty bad penalty kill, but they just don't take a lot of penalties. And that Montreal power play has been struggling. But I think you're fine to do Montreal 2 and pair them with Weber. All power play 1 correlated. Weber shoots the puck a lot and has one of the highest shooting talents in the league, which means, when he shoots the puck, there's a high chance it goes in. So don't mind that. Petrie's still a little pricey for me. On this Winnipeg side here, this Scheifele, Wheeler, Stastny line is fine, but they really rely on power play points, and that's a pretty good thing tonight with Montreal taking 3.8 penalties a game. They're still leading the league. They're first in the league for penalties this season. So I think it's a very good matchup for this Winnipeg 1 team, Winnipeg 1 line that is all correlated on the top power play unit. And you're fine to sub out Stastny for Connor if you want to pay up a little bit, get a little bit different from the field. Add Connor, who is definitely a higher volume shooter, as well as more upside to score a goal. And then you compare them with some of those cheaper lines like we mentioned with Minnesota. So that's definitely a viable option tonight. Don't mind this Winnipeg 2 line as well. Price has been struggling, man, so easy to take advantage of this. This line's been okay 5-on-5, but Ehlers, Connor duos are solid. It's just the sample with Dubois is small for me, so we don't have enough numbers to see how effective Dubois is in this Winnipeg system. But on the defensive side here, Morrissey's fine. Like, he plays a lot of minutes, but they're kind of empty minutes. I would probably look elsewhere. This decor is they just don't do enough for me. Like, Winnipeg's offense all come from the forwards. Where on the contrary, with Montreal, all their offense comes from the defense. So kind of flip-flop, but Connor Hellebuck here, I like him quite a bit tonight. Very favorable price. Montreal's a really high shot volume team, and a ton of their shots come from the point. And that's pretty favorable for a goalie that's going to face, maybe 60% of shots coming from the defenseman. So that's favorable to me. Good price for him. I think it's an easy pivot from Kemper. But Winnipeg is on the road tonight, so I generally like to take home teams, but it's fine at that price tag. All right. Thoughts on Tarasenko? He comes back tonight. Man, Tarasenko is in must-own in fantasy. Absolutely. Like, I think we had him projected about top 50, assuming he was healthy this season, playing every game. So take that how you want it, but he's been priced on DraftKings tonight if some of you guys are playing DraftKings. But why change Arizona lines but not put Keller? Yeah, Greg, and honestly, it's like something I'll never understand, but I have Tarasenko, Rantanen, and Stone. Yeah, like if you have to sit one of them, I would sit Tarasenko. Right to last night. Okay, good to know. Okay, so Toronto, Vancouver. Toronto is the best pay up team tonight. Going against a Vancouver team that actually has figured it out sort of defensively. But we had Pettersson out last game. I haven't looked at any news if Pettersson's back tonight, but definitely have some interest in Toronto one tonight. All power play correlated. Vancouver takes a ton of penalties. So I think all three of these players are in play. If you want to leave Joe Thornton off, that's fine. Keeping him on kind of gets you different from the field because no one is really full line stacking still. So I think keeping Thornton on is the way I'm going to play it tonight. But I think if you want to take him off just because of his shot volume, like he doesn't shoot the puck at all, and you want to fill in for someone like Parise, I think that's fine to do. Toronto 2 here, going against this Höglander, Miller, Besser line. I'm assuming that Pettersson's out. So again, guys, just bear with me with these line changes. Like there's so many tonight. But this line's also in play. I don't mind Toronto 2 at all. They have a huge sample from last season with a really good expected goals numbers. They really need to get Tavares going. He's been really slow, but I mean, you're paying a guy $10 million, so you're going to need him to get on the score sheet 5-on-5 for sure. So Pettersson is confirmed out tonight. Okay, good to know. Höglander actually makes this line a lot better defensively, but I still think this Kerfoot, Tavares, Nylander line is solid tonight. They're priced well. You compare them with a lot of other top lines, so don't mind them at all. On the defensive side here, Morgan Rielly's price finally came down below the 6K range, but I don't think he's in play too much for me. He just doesn't do enough on the peripherals wise. Like you're really banking on a few points. But if you are doing Toronto 1 stacks, you're definitely fine to pair Rielly with them. It does make it a little pricey, but there are a lot of good value lines on the slate tonight that you compare them with. Jake Muzzin, 4,500. He's fine. He's a guy that will block and shoot quite a bit and play a lot of minutes. If Toronto gets into some penalty trouble, you'll see definitely the block bonus from him tonight. Freddie Anderson, 8,200. Like Toronto goalies have been good, but I don't know how long they're going to be good for. So I'm off Freddie at 8,200. Toronto's actually limiting shots quite a bit, which is something we've never seen. But I'm off Freddie tonight. I think there's just better options. Like I would rather just pay down 1,000 for Hellebuck. But on this Vancouver side, so Pettersson is out from what Jeff said. So the lines are a little bit scrambled. Looks like we have Pearson, Horvat, Virtanen, and that's what we saw last game. And then Höglander, Miller, Besser. I'm not sure if these are going to stick, but assuming they do, this Pearson, Horvat, Virtanen line is just in a brutal matchup against this Matthews, Marner, Thornton line. So I'm off them. I have more interest in Höglander, Miller, Besser. Two guys on the top power play unit. And then facing this Kerfoot, Tavares, Nylander line who's been subpar defensively. Like this Matthews line has been elite defensively, but this Miller, Besser, Höglander line has been... the Kerfoot, Tavares, Nylander line has been pretty bad defensively. So I'm fine going Vancouver 2 here. That's probably the only spot I like in this game on the Vancouver side. On D, Travis Hamonic. He's a really solid punt defenseman. Someone that shoots and blocks quite a bit. I think he had 4 shots last game, so just missing the shot bonus, which would have paid off 4x value. So don't mind him. I think Edler's in play at 4,300. And then if you want to take Demko, like you're going to get away from the field. It's definitely going to be a more contrarian play. But I just think it's a really tough matchup against a Leafs team that's been scoring like at an outstanding rate. So the way I'm playing this tonight is Leafs 1, going to pair with Rielly in some of my stacks. And then Vancouver 2 is where I'm looking specifically. right. So Anaheim, Colorado. Obviously the big news in this game, McKinnon was out last game. Got announced like 20 minutes before 20 minutes before game start. Looks like Kadri moved up to the top line. And that's actually what we want to see because I know Confer was there at some point. But I think Kadri is the best option to play with these guys. High shot volume player, all power play one. So going back to Colorado one tonight, they're just, because they busted last night, it means the ownership's going to be a little bit lower on them. And they're in the back-to-back, which is good because Ryan Miller is in net tonight. I would be really surprised if Gibson started again, but Ryan Miller, well below average goaltender, going against a well above average team. I think Colorado 1, Colorado 2 are both in play quite a bit tonight. I had Saad one off last night in some of my lineups, who actually was really good for me. But on defense, I think Girard, I'm going to kind of pivot from him. It's just like the shots and blocks aren't there for me. Like, again, Girard is similar to Riley, where you're really banking on a few points because he doesn't really shoot or block that much. But Ryan Graves, solid defenseman at 4,400, one of the better plays in that price range if you're looking to pay for a defenseman there. And then on this Anaheim side, like the only line I have any interest in is this Zegras, Lundstrom, Raquel line, because they're going to avoid Colorado 1 and Colorado 3, it looks like. And Raquel has just really, really high shot volume. So, he's putting the puck on net a lot. Two guys on the top power play unit. Colorado does take a little bit more penalties than majority of the league. So 3.1 penalties a game is fine for me. Gives them a couple opportunities. But I do think Colorado is in just such a better spot tonight. So there isn't much I like from Anaheim. But Hunter Minska in net tonight, or Miska, he's just not an NHL caliber goaltender at this point of his career. So gives me a little bit more interest in Anaheim. All right, so Columbus, Dallas. Before we get started, we got 33 people in here, 10 likes. Smash that like button, guys. Keeps us going, keeps us motivated. We're going to be doing this almost every day. Tomorrow night, we take Sundays off, but tomorrow is going to be just a season-long talk, no Draftkings, and I'll be hosting that tomorrow night. So drop a like if you're enjoying the content so far, guys. So Columbus, Dallas. So the way I'm going to play this game tonight is it's really hard for me to get to Columbus 1 for the sole fact that there's probably a 25% chance that one of the three players gets sat. And I would say 50% chance that one of those players, Patrick Laine, is going to get sat. I just can't pay up for a line at 18.5 that we don't know how many minutes they're going to play. We don't know if they're going to, play on the power play, if their lines are going to get split up. So I'm kind of off Columbus tonight. They're just really hard to play. But I think if you're going anywhere in Columbus, Zach Werenski's fine. And then Oliver Bjorkstrand as a one-off, just a high shot volume guy with goal upside. On this Dallas side, we got Guryanov up on the top line with Ben and Pavelski. Makes them a lot more intriguing, especially with Guryanov's upside. So I'm going to get to Dallas 1 tonight. I think they're in a good spot. And on the defensive side, I think Miro Heiskanen at 4,200 is a very good play tonight. Going to be one of my highest owned defensemen. He was 2 nights ago, and I think he scored. So I'm definitely back on the Heiskanen train tonight. Columbus is just terrible defensively. They give up so many shots. Brutal penalty kill. And if Heiskanen's on this top power play unit, and that's what we're seeing right now, I think it's a very favorable spot for him at that price tag. From the goalie side here, I'm off Korpisalo, but I don't mind Ottinger. But the only reason why I wouldn't take him is because Dallas doesn't really allow a lot of shots and Columbus doesn't shoot a lot. But 7,700 price tag's very favorable. You can easily correlate them with your Dallas stacks and not really have to handcuff yourself too much like you're seeing with the other lines. All right, so anything to note in this game, Dallas takes quite a few penalties, but this Columbus penalty kill just doesn't interest me enough. So St. Louis, LA, big news here. Who dropped it? Flames 0404. Looks like Tarasenko's back tonight. He is min price, so we don't have a projection for him. That's just because in our projections we have him playing 0 minutes. So we'll edit that and get his projection up there, but I'm in price tonight. He is far and away the best individual player. He's a guy that with like insane shot volume, a lot of goal upside, and a pretty favorable spot against LA that's been taking a lot of penalties and quick starting tonight too. So Definitely going to have some St. Louis 1 tonight. Tarasenko just makes them super affordable. Like, it's crazy. They went from having Nathan Walker at 2,600, a guy that's has not really done anything in the NHL, to Tarasenko, like 6-7 time 30 goal scorer at a little bit cheaper of a price. So give me some St. Louis 1 tonight. They're going to be really high owned. Tarasenko might see the most ownership of any player that isn't Matthews, McKinnon, or McDavid. So I'm definitely going to have some of him tonight. I'm going to eat the chalk. I just think it's too favorable of a spot for him tonight. So this Sanford, O'Reilly, Kyrou line, I have not a lot of interest in at all. I just think it's a really tough matchup. Match it up against Iafallo, Brown, Kopitar, who are a really good defensive line, like one of the top defensive lines in the game. So both these lines kind of just cancel each other out in terms of 5-on-5 play. So on the defensive side here, actually, I think Hoffman's up on second line. So Jeff, to your point about Tarasenko being risky, my thought process is that they're not going to bring him back if he's not 100% healthy, right? So they have to make sure he's up to game speed 100% before they play him tonight. And I think he's at that point, and that's why they've kind of held off a little bit. But I think it's for me, I think it's worth the risk to play him. Let me see these lines quickly. Okay, so daily faceoff has Tarasenko on first and second line. That's good. So we'll just move on from that. Defensive side here, Torrey Krug, 4,600. He's a great play tonight. Very affordable. You can fit him in almost all your lineups, and you can stack him with the first line and still be under 20K salary. So I'm in on Krug tonight for sure. I think Falk's a fine play as well if you want to pivot from Krug, someone that gets shots and blocks, plays a ton of minutes. And then Binnington's back tonight. I have some interest in him, but I do think Los Angeles is going to score some goals tonight, and that's what I want to talk about. So this LA 1 line, I think someone had Brown in their Hattrick predictions. He had 8 shots and a goal yesterday. St. Louis just takes a ton of penalties, and they cannot kill them off. So I think LA 1's in a pretty good spot again tonight. I'm going to be back on them. They're just priced pretty favorably. And we're seeing them just generate a lot of chances and a lot of chances on the power play. And their power play has been good, up at 25%. So I'm going to get to LA 1 tonight. I think LA 2 is also in play. All 3 guys on power play 2. Carter scored last night. He's a high shot volume guy. Athanasiou is a high shot volume guy. So just easy filler stacks from this LA depth. On the D side here, Drew Doughty down to 5,100 tonight. He's in a great spot again. Tons of opportunity on the power play. He loves to shoot the puck on the power play. So I'm going to get to some Doughty. And then Jonathan Quick, I think I'm going to be out on tonight. I like Peterson quite a bit more than Quick. I just think Quick in his last 2-3 years just hasn't been getting it done enough for why I'm going to take him. So yeah, I agree. Like, he hasn't played in 2 years. So, I mean, we saw Mantha struggle after missing a full year of hockey. But we'll see. I'm going to play Tarasenko tonight. I think you have to activate him off your IR and play him as well. So, Calgary, Edmonton. Again, I don't know if these lines are 100% set, because I think it was Nuge, McDavid, Neal. Sorry, it was Puljujärvi, McDavid, Neal, and then Leon, Nuge, Yamamoto. So not sure if that's going to stick. I'll make sure to update you guys on Discord if you guys are all in there. But from this Calgary side, I like the Tkachuk, Lindholm, Doobie combo a little bit more than the top line. I do think this Monahan, Gaudreau, Levo line is going to match up against McDavid, Nuge, and Puljujärvi. And that's a pretty brutal matchup. So I have more interest in Calgary 2 tonight, but not too much. They just have not been good 5-on-5. But Edmonton, they just give up a ton of everything. Ton of penalties, bad penalty kill, ton of shots. But I think for Calgary 3, you're fine to 2-man Backlund, Mangiapane. I think this Edmonton depth is terrible. And these two are really solid together 5-on-5, and they have been for the last 2 seasons. So don't mind Calgary 3 at all tonight. On the defensive side here, not much I like from the Calgary defense. They're a little bit too expensive for me. Markstrom's back tonight, but tough matchup against Edmonton that's been scoring just at an absurd rate, as most of these Canadian teams have been. On the Edmonton side, Nuge, McDavid, Puljujärvi definitely in play tonight. Solid expected goals for numbers. They've been getting it done 5-on-5. 2 guys on the top power play unit as well. And McDavid's been off the score sheet a few nights. So I think that Nightbot's posting the Discord link, guys, if you want to. Should be up there a little bit. Just give it a little scroll. But yeah, I'm not too heavy on this Edmonton 2 line at all. They just, again, have not been good 5-on-5. On the defensive side, Darnell Nurse, 6,200. He's a good play all the time at that price. Shoots, blocks, gets points. He does everything. And then Tyson Barrie as well. He's more of a correlation play if you want to do like a Nuge McDavid Barrie 3-man or a Leon McDavid Barrie 3-man. That's fine. But that's about it from this Edmonton side. Markstrom hasn't played. Yeah, I think he's going to be a little shaky tonight. And the final game of the night, going quick, but trying to go as in-depth as I can here. San Jose, Vegas. We saw a ton of ownership on Vegas last night. They were extreme chalk for the right reasons, right? San Jose is bad defensively. Vegas is just priced way too favorably. They're in such a good spot again tonight. All 3 lines are in play, 100%. If you need to get different, you can pair Tuch with your Smith, Carlson, Marchessault stacks. You can pair Glass with your Pacioretty, Stevenson, Stone stacks, or you can full line stack them. So it's just a matter of how you want to play them. They're very good tonight. I really like this first line. They just generate so many chances. And people seem to still leave Stevenson off. And I get it. He's not a high shot volume guy. Exact same thing as Jumbo Joe over on Toronto that doesn't shoot, but you kind of got to pair him with your Matthews Marner stacks, and the same thing with Stevenson, where you got to pair him with your Stone Pacioretty stacks. On the defensive side here, Theodore looked pretty bad last game, but I'm back on Theodore. He's a high shot volume guy. Pietrangelo, same situation as him. I would pair Pietrangelo with my Smith, Carlson, Marchessault stacks because of the power play 2 correlation. I just think that's the best way to play it. Just got Jeff asked if Danska's in. I think it's going to be Fleury tonight. Dansk started yesterday. Fleury played 10 straight, so they need to give him a day off. It makes sense. And then on the San Jose side, so not much I like here. I think if you're going to go anywhere, it's going to be this Couture, Kane, LeBanc line, who faced off 70% against this Vegas 1 line. So it's a tough matchup for them, but they're the only line that's really been dominating 5-on-5. And when I mean dominating, take that lightly, especially against a Vegas team, but they've been good 5-on-5, so have some interest in them. I think on the defensive side here, you're fine to go into Erik Karlsson on power play 1. He looked a lot better last night. I think he had 2 assists and some shots. So I'm going to get to some Erik Karlsson tonight. Hey guys, give Nightbot a break. Come on. He was timing people out like crazy last time too. And then Devin Dubnyk, no thank you. I saw Jones got the yank last night. He let in 3 goals on 8 shots. No surprise there. And now Dubnyk played the second half of that game. Assuming it's going to be him tonight. If it is, I still have interest. If it's not, I have more interest. So Vegas smash spot again tonight. There's such a good look. Thinking of Alex Tuch right now as I'm talking about them. Such a good look tonight. They're just priced way too favorably. And this Vegas 2 line is just scary good. How well priced they are for DraftKings. All right, guys. So that was a quick one for me. Kind of get to go at my own pace on a short slate like this, and I went by myself. But my favorite line tonight, it's going to be hard for me to get off of them, but it's Vegas 1 and 2. They're just in such a good spot tonight, and they're priced so favorably. So I'm going to be on them tonight. I was yesterday. Going to be hard for me to get away. I think on defense, I really like Shea Theodore. He's been busting, so I'm going to get there. Torrey Krug, really good spot. Drew Doughty, same thing. Very good spot. 2 guys that play a lot of minutes, and they're on the top power play unit. Yeah, that's about it for the defense side. I think for goalies tonight, Connor Hellebuck, very good play, high shot volume goaltender. And I think who was the other goaltender that was in play tonight? Yeah, I guess Fleury. San Jose shoots quite a bit, so Fleury's always in play. How come you're streaming solo? Yeah, Clarky's been busy, like my stream partner. He works like kind of contract work with Toronto Ultra, like the esports team. So he's been kind of on and off working with them. But he'll be back next week, hopefully. Edmonton team will be good with Oilers losing 3 straight and Calgary getting Daryl Suter as head coach. I'm going to watch that game for sure. That's going to be a pretty good game. All right, so jumping to the Hattrick predictions. No one got them last night. Clarky was the closest with Mr. Max Pacioretty. Saka Saleh. Same thing, took Pacioretty. He played very well. We saw a couple Dustin Brown picks yesterday. 8 shots, a goal from him, so not bad. 2 Fiala picks, he scored. We got a Couture goal, 2 Stevensons, and then I got Tuck with the goal, and that's about all he did. So new slate, new hat tricks tonight, guys. So when you're ready, drop those hat trick picks for me. We don't have too many people in here today, so it'll be a little bit easier to write these out. Some of those days, like, and there's like 30, 35 hat trick picks, it's so difficult. But 24 you in here. Hopefully we can get a couple. I'll settle with 10 for sure. I don't know who I'm going to go with tonight. No, forever. 35 hat trick picks. It's so difficult. All right. A couple rolling in here. Duncan always in here dropping that pick. Marcia So. Michael B just going with always out of the box. Love it though. Josh Anderson. Hard to stay away from Vegas tonight. Yeah, it is really hard. Barzal just had the most amazing between the legs goal. Really. See if we can find it here, guys. I don't know if I'm even allowed showing this on stream, but didn't even lift it up. Geez, see you later, Hutton. Wow. That was nice. Love to see that. Oh, Nick Bucko with the... Can't even pronounce his name, Nick. All right. Those are submissions today. Not too many, but we'll take it. Gives you guys a better opportunity to win. Oh, Flames dropping the Ranson in. All right, so my hat trick pick. Let me take a peek quickly. Get a couple names in my head. I'm gonna go with Mr. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I know a lot of people like him. And then Cosmo with the Mangiapane. All right, guys. So that concludes our stream. I appreciate everyone tuning in today. It's kind of difficult when it's solo, but Clarky will be back next week. So Nightbot has been linking the Discord. So guys, if you're not in there yet, definitely hop in there. If you guys want access to our sheets, our trade analyzer, all of our projections, all the tools, or if you want to support us as content creators, head over to our Patreon. There's a bunch of affordable tiers for everyone based on what you do. If you're a serious player, if you're just a casual player. Again, if you're not on the Discord, get in there. If you're not following us on Twitter, sauce us a follow at fantasy_puck. We're almost at 200 followers, guys. So if you're not following us already, definitely get in there. Expect a video tonight. There's going to be a couple videos lined up for the next 3 or 4 days, which I'm really excited about. And then big stream tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Hopefully see all you guys there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for the support as always. And I will see